Hi everybody, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Rita. I'm part of Martha's family, the family behind Martha's Wines, and I'm here today to introduce you a little bit of ourselves and especially about the Douro Valley that you can see on the back. Right now I'm located in the mountain of São Pedro, that in English is St. Peter. The name comes from this little church that is right on the very top of the mountain and is here to give good luck to all the grape growers. So just to make sure we're on the same page, what you're seeing now, it's a map. You have a little bit of Europe. You can see Portugal in red, very, very small in the Iberian Peninsula. And then it shows you a bigger map of Portugal. And I am located in the green area where you see what is called Douro Valley. You can also see Porto. And further on, I'm going to explain you why we produce it in Douro and why it's called Porto. So if we zoom into the green area, that region called the Douro Valley, it will be your darker gray area on this map. And the red heart, that's where we and I am located right now. A few things about us. Martha is our family name. So it's my last name, my brother's last name, my father's last name. Me and my brother, we are currently the 6th generation working in the family. We are 100% Portuguese as far as we can trace it back. We do trace back the family in the Douro to 1727, which is when we started growing the grapes, not making the wine, but growing grapes. Throughout the years until now, we've been in many stages, just selling wine in barrels, just selling the grapes. But the first bottle, Martha's Port, was done in 1970 from my grandfather. We are now a team of 3 from the family working. I take care of exports and marketing. My father is the winemaker and he takes care of the vineyards. And my brother is our boss, as we like to call it, and is the managing director. So I'm now giving you a much closer look of the Douro Valley. You can see some smoke is coming out of some of the chimneys of the houses around here. It's beautiful, isn't it? I just wish the light was a little bit better. So what you're looking at are some of our vineyards. Everything is field blend, meaning that each plot has different grape varieties. Just to give you an idea, we have kind of 6 to 7 red grape varieties. The same goes for the white wines. The one that we use that is probably the most famous one is Touriga Nacional. Touriga Nacional has low yields, but it gives a very good structure and body to the wine. It has high tannins and a very good concentration of black fruits. We also use Touriga Franca, Tinta Roriz, Tinta Amarela, Tinta Barroca, Tinto Cão. Well, many very easy and complicated names. For the white wines, we use Viosinho, Rabigato, Malvasia, Muscatel, and many others. I don't know if you had a chance to notice, when I was going down the mountain, you could see some walls on my back. The walls that were surrounding and dividing the vineyards. Those walls are made of schist. That schist comes from the soil of the vineyards. Actually, the soil of the Douro Valley is very stony, and it's all made of schist. It's very rich in nutrients, but it's free draining, so obliges the vine to push its roots very, very deep into the soil and down through the cracks in the bedrocks in search for the water. The hot, dry climates and the rocky soil mean that the yields are very, very low, and the grape juice is extremely rich and very concentrated. I don't know if you could also see that around me there were some olive trees. So these olive trees, yes, we do make olive oil, but they are there specifically also because they have deeper roots than the vines, so they help suck the water up in the mountain. So before we go into our tasting, the very expected tasting, what is port wine exactly? I'm going to try to explain you in a very easy and quick way, and then later on, if you have questions, I'll be there to answer them to you. So port is made of grapes, as we've seen, obviously. It's high in alcohol and sweet. So what it happens is, after we harvest the wine, we crush the grapes, we ferment it, and during the fermentation, we add a grape brandy on it to stop the fermentation and keep the original sweetness of the grapes. So that grape brandy is around 70% alcohol. After, we have three options. Either we want to make a ruby, a tawny, or a white. If we have red grapes and we want to make a ruby, we can put it in stainless steel or in bottle. If we have red grapes and we want to make a tawny, after the fermentation we put it in oak barrels. If instead we had white grapes, what we generally do is we put it in stainless steel vats, because we want, even though it's port wine, we want it to be a fresh wine. So this is a very simple way of putting it. Of course, then we have many categories and subcategories, which I will touch a little bit through the tasting while we go and taste everything.